Hi, I wanted to provide some context to this video. I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay? Thank you. Enjoy the video.
With nearly 60 billion views amassed, 300 million subscribers gained, and hundreds of millions of dollars made, MrBeast's empire was flourishing and booming at full pace until a former employee released a 53-minute video exposing MrBeast, accusing him of running illegal lotteries, faking his game shows, and even asking kids to pack Feastables back onto Walmart shelves. While that was happening, MrBeast had already fired his childhood friend Kris for alleged misconduct involving kids, but was soon dragged into the fire himself with claims that he knew about it the whole time. And at the same time, hide-and-seek competitor turned enemy Rosanna Pansino released a string of videos exposing MrBeast games, which led to a New York Times piece detailing the disturbing events unfolding. From Discord leaks to MrBeast hitting the Better Call Saul button, all the way to deleting comments on his most recent video, this is the timeline of events that led to MrBeast's spiky downfall in just 1 week. But before we get to the leaks, we need to talk about the context surrounding Kris. Hundreds of videos have already been made about this topic, so I will summarize this for context. Around a month ago, Ava got into some heat with Jake the Viking and Nick Merckx, where Nick Merckx replied to a Kris tweet that's now been deleted, saying, "You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done." Jake the Viking, who's also a MrBeast former employee, responded to this, supporting Nick Merckx's tweet. This led to Kris and Kris's former wife Katie putting out statements quelling the tweets, with Katie saying, "Mine and Tucker's life are both better than ever. Tucker's life is kept relatively private as much as it can be solely because of people like you who try to make a headline topic with the 4-year-old's life blasted as a headline." Now, this is important because around the same time, videos had been released addressing Kris's connections to Shadman. For context, this Reddit user explains what Shadman's famous for, which I won't be mentioning in this video. However, Ava has on multiple occasions referenced Shadman specifically in the context of his kid art. Here's Ava responding to Shadman in a post about Raftalia, an anime character whose gimmick is that she can age and de-age rapidly. In this instance, she has a body of a 10-year-old. There were a few other tweets dug up which started to ramp up traction for Kris's eventual downfall. I'm not going to get into this because that's a whole other video in itself, but this context is needed in order to understand the next picture, which is the now infamous picture of MrBeast looking at the disturbing picture hanging in Kris's room, which showed that there's a good chance that he knew about this behavior. This is important for later because at this stage, MrBeast had distanced himself from the whole situation and it was hard to prove that he was none the wiser. Following this, a video came out with claims that Kris groomed a minor named Lava, who was present in a Discord server with Kris. Lava then came out with a statement refuting all of the claims stating that he was ever exploited. But it was too little too late because the backlash was too much and people weren't buying it, to the point where Kris released a statement that indicated stepping away from all things MrBeast. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. This was followed by MrBeast releasing a statement that him and Kris had parted ways and that he had started a comprehensive investigation on the whole situation. At this point of the timeline, MrBeast was still safe and was removed from Kris, but as fortune would have it, this is actually the turning point where MrBeast's empire would start to unravel.
Kris Tyson from MrBeast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Kris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me.
This is a video from a guy named Nathan W, who started leaking over 500,000 messages from the Discord server that he and Lava moderated together for Kris, as Lava had contested some of Nathan's claims.
This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different porn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking with him.
After some of these leaks were revealed, Lava conceded to the idea that the Discord that he was a part of was highly inappropriate, stating that I was wrong. After reading the chat logs, the stuff was inappropriate and wrong. However, things seemed to take quite a turn when an account alleged to be MrBeast showed up in the Discord server. This message here talking about body part sizes with a few other messages referencing MrBeast, along with the picture from earlier which showed MrBeast likely knew about Kris's sexual palette, made his initial statement look like a blatant lie. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Kris Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. It now looked disingenuous, with Jake the Viking even tweeting out, "Jimmy knew." With MrBeast's word now looking discredited, this was the first nail in the coffin. The second nail was when a few days later, a former employee shared a 53-minute video on YouTube accusing him of running illegal lotteries, faking his game shows, and a whole bunch of other damning allegations which spawned hundreds of videos jumping on the topic. I did make a detailed video focusing on the alleged illegal lotteries and illegal game shows, citing the law which could make MrBeast liable to face the wrath of the FCC linked up above. This video was arguably the nuke which turned the situation into something much bigger, because following this video, the MrBeast team started scrubbing information off the internet that was referenced in that video, such as the illegal lottery clips that were previously on MrBeast's Facebook page, where they were promising cash or PS4s to random winners on the condition that the audience had to buy the shirts and feastables. He also cooked them on the fakeness of his game shows.
Have you ever faked a video?
No. But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, these buildings are CGI,
Following this expose, as at the date of writing the script, this video is at just under 10 million views and counting. The heat was so bad, even the biggest YouTuber couldn't ignore it. This then led to a string of responses from his team, starting with the weakest. An employee of MrBeast by the name of Chucky went on to X to respond and debunk certain points made in the 53-minute video. Now, the reason I say these responses were weak was that he debunked everything from the wink being added in post to the island actually costing $1 to even the clear joke about the raccoon being a paid actor. All of these points were inconsequential, and he said nothing about the illegal lotteries or the legality of the game shows. When talking about the 100 boys versus 100 girls video, he says, "This video was not scripted. I was on set for this and there was no bias for who won." But he omits the fact that MrBeast paid the only boy who could solve the Rubik's Cube to withdraw from the challenge, effectively handing the victory over to the girls where his girlfriend was competing.
Now if you don't win, that was all for nothing. So win for me.
And it doesn't stop there. There's been even more scam allegations coming out as MrBeast ran an Australian sweepstakes event giving away cars. The format was to buy Feastables chocolate bars with no regulation on age and then play a slot machine on your phone. Lots of people got the winning combination, but that didn't matter either because the app was broken. You would buy a chocolate, scan a QR code, play a slot machine at any age, get the 3 cars required to win, and then you didn't win. And if it wasn't scamming, it was mismanagement of contestants' welfare. Rosanna Pansino, a former contestant on his hide-and-seek influencer challenge, hit him with the third nail in the coffin when she released a string of videos on a 14.5 million subscriber YouTube channel exposing the Beast Game's condition. In my previous video, I went into detail around how MrBeast edited out the true results of the contest, resulting in presenting her doing worse than she actually did, which is potentially illegal. But in these videos, she alleged that people were having seizures, being denied medication, and that the games were 100% rigged. She also alleged that the contestants were given $1,000 in hush money to sign NDAs, along with another $1,000 once the countless articles came out once the story broke.
If MrBeast continues to run the show like he has so far, I truly believe something tragic could happen. There has already been reports of multiple seizures, lack of access to prescription medication, many injuries, and much more.
And just one day after that video, stories started coming out of people with broken bones, sprained ankles, as well as seizures on set, with the medical staff doing nothing to assist the contestants. And just to reiterate, all of this is alleged, nothing has been proven in court. But even the New York Times put out a story on these allegations, so now it was coming from multiple sources. She then went on to read an email from IATSE telling its members in Canada that they are not allowed to work on Beast games. For context, IATSE stands for the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. They represent the people behind the scenes who make TV shows and movies. They have over 168,000 members, and pretty much most large sets have IATSE crews. She alleged that MrBeast and his team specifically requested that Beast games be non-union. This is for a few reasons, mainly so that MrBeast wouldn't have to pay the crew benefits, but also these unions require very strict safety guidelines. But apparently MrBeast's team was in charge of hiring the crew and they couldn't find enough non-union people to hire, so they were forced to hire union members.
I'm going to be reading off the phone. Dear members of IATSE, MrBeast parentheses Beast Games aka Project Greenlight has been deemed an unfair production. No member of local shall work on any job that is declared unfair. For the purpose of these bylaws, any motion picture work taking place within the jurisdiction of IATSE that is not taking place under a signed collective agreement or letter of understanding with a local shall be considered unfair.
As I mentioned earlier in the video, MrBeast's team eventually had to press the Better Call Saul button. They hit Dogpack 404 with 2 cease and desists from 2 different law firms. The first talked about Dogpack disclosing sensitive, confidential, and proprietary information regarding the company's business operations. Dogpack responded to this by making a troll video stating that he will neither cease nor desist. I will play a couple of seconds of it here.
So MrBeast's legal team did send me a cease and desist, and here's my official response to that.
MrBeast's team then doubled down with the second cease and desist, a final warning. This firm, a new firm whose white-collar criminal defense practice is second to none according to the website, has recently been retained by MrBeast YouTube LLC, MrBeast or the company, legal company, and its founder Jimmy Donaldson regarding the unsettling news that you have embarked on a campaign to disparage MrBeast as a company and defame Jimmy Donaldson as an individual. Not only are your statements about MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson untrue, they also violate the clear, binding, and enforceable terms of your confidentiality and non-disclosure agreements with MrBeast dated 25th March 2024, the NDA agreements which you have shown in videos posted to the internet. Now, right here it says, your statements about MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson are untrue. He then says, then prove it. You have all the footage, but instead of posting any, you have just been deleting more. Now, where this showdown gets interesting and the threats become all bark, no bite is the fact that Dogpack is most likely protected by the Whistleblower Act. And if you don't know what a Whistleblower Act is, it's basically the act that protects someone inside of a company who leaks information that may be covered by an NDA, particularly if it involves illegal activities, poses a danger, or falls under the protections outlined by the US Department of Labor. The fact that he's blowing the whistle for things like alleged illegal lotteries and game shows could very well be the thing that protects him from his breach of NDA. If Dogpack 404 can confirm that the things in his videos are either opinion-based, or he can prove that he's looking at public information like the MrBeast streams or MrBeast videos that are posted on YouTube, he can argue that he's simply just a whistleblower or he's covering public information. But at the same time Dogpack was receiving the cease and desist, he started getting random messages from anonymous MrBeast employees. Also, my number got leaked, apparently from a MrBeast employee named Kaylee. I've been getting texts from former MrBeast employees. Text I received last night claims that James wants to have private investigators start following me and looking into my family's social media accounts to find ways to discredit me. When he tried to respond to the warning message, the responses were creepy messages saying, "This phone number is no longer in service. Stop, leave." This looks like some kind of intimidation tactic, but once again, nothing has been proved in court, so make of it what you will. This situation is still ongoing, but MrBeast recently released a video which has almost 2 million dislikes as at date of recording. And if you look at the comment section, it's squeaky clean, which most likely means that they are deleting any defiant messages in real time. This MrBeast situation is insane, and I'm curious if it will blow over or if this is the end for MrBeast. It takes years to build up your reputation and just one moment to destroy it all. Thanks for getting to the end, and if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing and check out my other videos which I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy. And I'll see you in the next one.